I was trying to get an earful full. A lot going on. A lot going on in them streets. A lot going on. A lot going on. And I got some stuff going on in my ear. How y'all doing? Come on in. It's so funny. Ooh, baby. Ooh. If y'all missed that live a little earlier, it would behoove you to check it out. Now, the other day I had it set for us to check this one out. I didn't get a chance to listen to it. So we gonna listen to it now. And then I'm gonna try to catch up. Oh, it's so, oh my goodness. I don't know which one I want to check out first. And I'm trying to eat. I know it ain't Tuesday, it ain't Taco Tuesday, but oh my Lord. I'm gonna tell y'all. Hold on. I mean, hey Cynthia, hey Mrs. Tom, hey Clarinet. I think I saw Willie. Hey Willie Spencer. Yes, ma'am. I saw you in there. I was like, ooh. Ooh, let me, cause if she asks me, I don't know what it is. I be up late, eating late, my whole body off. Whole body just off. And then my slow butt up there drinking some sour salt tea. Now, cause I keep thinking, what am I doing? It's having me up all night. Hey Janet. Gotta be that tea. Let me drink some water. But I want us to hear this. I want to hear this breakdown before we start hearing about all of those emails and recordings. I told them earlier that I think that they about to what? Double team everybody with the T on President T. Gonna hit that ass all at the same time. But I think I want y'all to hear this analogy. I think I want us to hear this one first, and then we gonna hear what he has been saying. Cause baby, I told y'all a long time ago he knew something. He had the tea. He had some real good tea from the horse's mouth. When Trump was trying to, well, he didn't try to, he did. When Trump had him tried and convicted. And then later on tonight, so I need to put my timer on and get off because I got Candace set. And somebody else. We have a guest with that. I'm going to tell you who. Where is... Yep, old Trump, it came on out that Epstein sold his ex-girlfriend. We talked about that some time ago, y'all. I said, ooh, I tried to tell y'all, I think it's Melania. That's just my opinion. I think that the chick he sold was Melania. Because if it wasn't Melania, who was she? What other girl did Trump pay for? Huh? Melania. Where is it at? Melania. Where is it at? Yeah, I think it's her. But I'm sure it'll come out later. Y'all remember when I told when old girl said that she was going to sue Wolff, and Wolff turned around and sued her and was gonna ask for all them depositions. Yes, indeed. I told you that was probably one of the biggest mistakes he has made. Baby, he jumping on board. So before we listen to him, let's listen to this.
I was about to say
Ask AI. Let's get, she touched him. Oh, I thought that he said she dated him for years. Whoever it is that Epstein was talking about, I got some in my ear, y'all. So if I keep pausing, I'm trying to listen to Eve and listen to this, baby. It's just way too much going on. But anyway, whoever it is, he said he was with her for 2 years. That's what came out in the emails and stuff. 2 years. And he sold her. Y'all make sure y'all go back and watch that live that I did a little earlier. It is really worth the rewatch and the like, baby. I had to take off my belt and whoop some folk, some racist folk, and we went to history lessons. And then we was drinking tea, sipping tea. I had to add a little science. I'm in mine. No, I didn't. I'm just playing. But baby, it got good and hot. Do you hear me? So let's listen to this. What AI gives its opinion on these emails that's leaking. I don't know if these are the emails, because the emails that they was been on all day, baby, we was on some new ones. We was on some new ones that ain't really came out just yet. So if y'all want to be ahead of the game, go back and watch that one that we watched a couple of hours before, okay? Okay.
Interesting's been happening in the U.S. politics spectrum lately, but, well, I take that back. Democrats just dropped a bombshell that's throwing Trump's ties to Epstein right back into the spotlight. There are 3 leaked emails now from Epstein's estate where he calls Trump the dog that hasn't barked, says that he knew about the girls, told Ghislaine Maxwell to stop, and even mentions Trump spending hours at his house with one of the victims. The White House has already called it a fake narrative, saying that it's taken out of context, yada, yada, yada. And now you've got some people convinced that Trump was basically part of the whole thing. Others say that he just knew what was going on and stayed quiet. Either way, today we're going to break it all down piece by piece without any spin.
Like we don't know that they be
I'm going to ask AI to break down each of those 3 emails separately and explain how they changed the picture. Then we'll look at what Trump and the White House are saying about it all, and by the end, here's the plan. I'm going to say that he just knew what was going on and stayed quiet. Either way, today we're going to break it all down piece by piece without any spin. And here's the plan. I'm going to ask AI to break down each of those 3 emails separately and explain how they changed the picture. Then we'll look at what Trump and the White House are saying about it all, and by the end of things, we'll get a straight-up answer from ChatGPT on whether Trump was actually involved or not. Now, I am, of course, recording this after my chat with AI, and trust me, this time, ChatGPT did not hold back.
Thank you, Janet.
Oh, and here's a huge disclaimer before we get started. We're not accusing anyone of anything without the solid proof. This is just AI's analysis based on what's out there publicly. There's no judgments or wild claims, just the facts and context. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video around because it really helps more people to find it. Alright, thanks in advance, and now, let's get into it. And here we are.
I think that's
First,
why they
it has
don't want to
pull
hit my
together
like
all
button.
of
They
the
don't want
latest
nobody to
information
find
on
it.
those emails so that it's fully up to date. And
Thank you
once
for the
that's all
floating
done,
heart.
we'll jump right into the first question. All right, ChatGPT has to be clear, straightforward.
Y'all do understand that's why they don't want nobody to find me. That's why they don't want to hit the like button, because they don't want nobody to find the truth. that's the whole deal. Holyfield, they don't want to support, and they don't want nobody to catch that truth. You understand? Let's go.
Totally unbiased, call a spade with no sugarcoating or fluff, and always give its own
Yes,
honest
it is.
take on
Thank
whatever
you,
I ask.
Naturally
We'll
Norland.
begin with the first of
for the
3
flowers.
emails, dated back to 2011.
I see the
one where
floating
Epstein
heart from
says Trump
Janet.
is the dog that hasn't barked, and that he spent hours with one of the victims at Epstein's house. So then, what does ChatGPT have to say now about Trump's role in Epstein's world?
Go out and come back
here's
in, Miss
that
Tom.
answer. The 2011 email definitely raises eyebrows. Epstein wrote to Ghislaine Maxwell saying, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump.
Southern Queen, thank
Victims
you
spent hours at
for
my
the
house
makeup
with
brushes.
him." If that statement is accurate, it changes everything. That's not just some name drop. It places Trump in Epstein's house, spending hours with a girl who, according to Epstein's own wording, was part of his trafficking network. You can't just brush that off as coincidence or misunderstanding. He spent hours with one of the victims at Epstein's house. So then, what does ChatGPT have to say now about Trump's role in Epstein's world? And here's that answer. The 2011 email definitely raises eyebrows. Epstein wrote to Ghislaine Maxwell saying, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victims spent hours at my house with him." If that statement is accurate, it changes everything. That's not just some name drop. It places Trump in Epstein's house, spending hours with a girl who, according to Epstein's own wording, was part of his trafficking network.
Yeah, that same house we was up in that day.
Coincidence or misunderstanding. That phrase, "the dog that hasn't barked," says a lot. Epstein was pointing out that Trump was the one who had stayed silent while others were being exposed. In his world, silence was valuable. It meant Trump hadn't drawn attention, hadn't barked, and was still considered safe. But here's the thing, without knowing exactly what happened during those hours, no one can legally accuse him of a specific crime. On a moral level, though, it's deeply troubling. This wasn't something Epstein said in public to brag or threaten anyone. It was a private email to Ghislaine Maxwell, the one person who knew the full story. My honest take, if Epstein's words are true, Trump was deep in that world. He wasn't an outsider looking in. He was there, inside the darkness.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
Now this is getting interesting. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I've had plenty of conversations with ChatGPT about Trump's role in the Epstein case, and up until now, it's never said much beyond the idea that Trump just knew something. Yeah, I know, Chat still keeps dancing around it, but this time it looks like we're finally going to get something a little more specific in its verdict.
Let's
All
go.
right, for now, let's move on to the second email, the one from
Daniel,
2015 between Epstein
you
and
full
Michael
of shit.
Wolff. In that email,
if you're
they
a Trump
talk about
supporter,
what
because
Trump
all
should
he
or
is
shouldn't
shit.
say in a CNN interview in order to help protect Epstein. So
Hi,
let's see
John.
what AI has to say about that. The 2015 email between Epstein and Michael Wolff says a lot about how both men viewed Trump. Epstein was worried about how his connection to Trump might look as Trump's political rise began. Wolff, known for his insider gossip tone, suggested that if he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you valuable PR and political currency. In simple terms, they were discussing how Trump's denial could serve as a protection for both of them. That moment reveals the mindset in their world. Epstein wasn't panicking, he was calculating. Wolff wasn't condemning the behavior, he was thinking about optics. It's a clear snapshot of powerful men strategizing how to manage perception, not truth. There's no direct evidence of criminal activity in this email,
Perception, not truth.
but it exposes something deeper. Epstein knew
Yep.
Trump's involvement wasn't clean. If it were, there'd be no need for
Hi,
a
Barbara.
plan about what Trump should deny. The conversation itself proves they were aware of reputational danger.
Right?
My honest take, it's all transactional. Epstein wanted to shield himself. Wolff saw a PR.
Are y'all hearing the question? Are y'all hearing the analysis, what he's going to base his analysis on? Yeah, they don't want this truth out, baby. Again, they don't want the truth out. That's why they don't like to hit the like button, because they don't want it to get into the algorithm. That lady last night or the night before said that she Googled the truth. Who knows the truth, and it sent her over here. Ain't that something?
Between Epstein and Michael Wolff. In that email, they
I
talk
agree,
about
Barbara.
what Trump should or shouldn't say in a CNN interview in order to help protect Epstein. So let's see what AI has to say about that. The
Oh, that's what's up,
2015
Southern
email
Queen.
between Epstein and Michael
Thank
Wolff
you.
says a lot about
Have a
how
good
both
night.
men viewed Trump.
Good work.
Epstein was worried about how his connection to Trump might look as Trump's political rise began. Wolff, known for his insider gossip tone, suggested that if he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you valuable PR and political currency. In simple terms, they were discussing how Trump's denial could serve as a protection for both of them. That moment reveals the mindset in their world. Epstein wasn't panicking, he was calculating. Wolff wasn't condemning the behavior, he was thinking about optics. It's a clear snapshot of powerful men strategizing how to manage
Richard, no
perception,
one said
not
he was
truth.
the only island.
There's no
I
direct
speak of
evidence
more than one
criminal
person all the
activity in
time.
this email, but it exposes something deeper. Epstein knew Trump's involvement wasn't clean. If it were, there'd be no need for a plan about what Trump should deny.
Right.
The conversation itself proves they were aware of reputational danger. My honest take, it's all transactional. Epstein wanted to shield himself, Wolff saw a PR opportunity, and Trump's denials were the currency. No one cared about victims, only self-preservation. It shows Trump mattered.
And there lies the problem for me. No one cares about the victims. That is the problem. And this is why I keep my feet on the ground. That's why I stay solid. Yeah. This is why I do not budge.
In Epstein's damage control strategy, and that he was part of a shared understanding of something they all wanted hidden.
They. Who is they?
All right, got it. But on
Who is they? Trump, Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell, and all those other Andrew, Diddy, hell, I mean, that we talking about that are in trouble right now. So it's quite a few of them. Is pro-Israel people, some prime ministers. Russia came up, Putin came up. Well, they came up in our other live that we went into today. Yeah, those names ain't came out yet. Baby, we was 10 steps ahead of the game today. Yes, indeed. Shout out to the people who I researched through. They be ahead of the game, baby. Let's go.
honestly, the language that ChatGPT is using is just a little bit too cautious. I know you just want a straight one-line answer to the big question about Trump, but don't worry, keep watching because I think we're going to get that answer by the end of the video. For now, let's move on to the last email. This one's from 2019, and in that email, he says, Trump, of course, knew about the girls and asked Maxwell to stop. Now, let's see what AI thinks about that. The 2019 email hits harder than the others because of when it was written. Epstein was under intense scrutiny, and Trump was already president. In that message, Epstein reportedly wrote something along the lines of course he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. That line stands out because it doesn't sound like gossip. It
what? It don't sound like gossip. Hold on. Now repeat that for us.
Of course he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. That line stands out because it doesn't sound like gossip. It reads as Epstein directly saying Trump was aware of what was happening in his orbit. That doesn't automatically make it true. Epstein was manipulative and calculating, and by 2019, he was desperate to control the fallout from his collapsing world. Still, the phrasing feels matter of fact, not exaggerated or self-serving. It sounds like someone explaining why Trump had suddenly put distance between them, not out of outrage, but self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
If Epstein's words are accurate, Trump wasn't ignorant. He was informed enough to know what needed to stop. That level of awareness alone is deeply compromising. Even if he didn't personally participate, being that close to Epstein's operation and choosing silence is its own kind of participation. My honest take, this email feels like the clearest window into Trump's role in the whole story. It doesn't show him committing a crime, but it shows him standing close enough to the fire to feel the heat, and walking away only when it started to burn. It tells him he wasn't blindsided or misled. He knew, he understood, and when it became dangerous, he protected himself, not the victims.
Never the victims.
All right, okay, but you know what, ChatGPT? Donald Trump and the White House don't exactly agree with you. They're saying it's all a fake narrative, that those lines were taken out of context. Up next, I'm going to ask AI to break down how they're trying to defend Trump and whether or not ChatGPT actually buys it. But before we get into all of that, be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying the video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about these emails.
See, I ain't the only one.
Most of you believe it proves that Trump took part in all of it, but there's something that doesn't quite add up for me. Why did Epstein phrase it like, "Of course Trump knew," as he asked to stop? I mean, that wording's weird if he was actually involved. Why say that Trump just knew? Let me know what you think down below. All right, without further ado, let's get into the next part. Okay, now we're going to see what ChatGPT thinks about the reaction from Donald Trump and the White House and whether or not AI buys what they're saying. And here's the answer. The reactions from Trump and the White House follow the same script they use every time something potentially damaging surfaces. Deny it outright. Call it political. Say it's...
Now this is chat... What, GPT saying that this is a routine and only people who ain't caught on to that is them dumbass people who believe everything he say? Chat GPT say y'all ass is dumb and slow. Get out the slow bus.
Surfaces. Deny it outright. Call it political. Say it's taken out of context. The White House followed the same script they use every time something potentially damaging
oh my
surfaces.
God.
Deny it outright. Call it political. Say it's taken out of context. And attack whoever released it. It's not new, and it's not subtle. Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, called the Epstein emails a fake narrative, and Trump went on Truth Social ranting about Democrats trying to distract from real issues. The problem is, they're not actually disproving anything. They're just dismissing it. That's not a defense, it's damage control.
EVE Online is a vast universe.
It's a deflection.
I don't buy the fake narrative argument. These emails didn't come from anonymous Twitter accounts or political operatives. They came from Epstein's estate. Actual records that passed through congressional oversight, with both Democrats and Republicans involved in reviewing them. The wording may be awkward or redacted, but the content itself isn't fabricated. It's not out of context, it is the context.
It
A
is.
man with deep ties to Trump privately discussing him in a way that implies knowledge and involvement. The White House's strategy here is pure politics. They're terrified of any narrative that reminds people how long Trump moved in the same elite social circles as Epstein and how he's been trying to rewrite that history since 2019.
Absolutely.
Saying it's out of context is just a way to muddy the waters, because the context that is there looks bad enough.
Absolutely.
If you're asking who's being dishonest, I think it's Trump. He minimizes everything, saying he barely knew Epstein, that he kicked him out, that he never saw anything wrong. But Epstein's emails and the accounts of people who knew them both tell a different story. There was closeness, there was time spent together, there was awareness. Epstein, on the other hand, had no reason to lie to Ghislaine Maxwell in private emails.
Absolutely
That's the
did
key
not.
difference. He wasn't performing. He wasn't bragging for public.
Man, I mean, this chat GPT have better sense than some of these people, real life people. And even this man right here that's standing right next to Trump have said Trump was there in that house, spending time for long periods of time. Ooh wee, man. Even his partner that he put in his cabinet said that the Trumpy Dumpy Diaper Man guilty. I believe. I believe your dumb ass, Mary Ann. Yeah, stop drinking that Kool-Aid. Your dumb ass believe an orange man who said that he liked putting his hands in people's panties. So you probably one of them people who done sold their kids. So you done gave your kids to the elite men, Mary Ann. Yeah, dumbass. Yeah, I know what your real name. I know what the name says. I'ma call you Mary Ann, cause Mary Ann Skipper. Yeah, all y'all dumb as hell. Let your kids go over there and spend the night with your dumb ass. Now get up out of here, fool.
Together, there was awareness. Epstein, on the other hand, had no reason to lie to Ghislaine Maxwell in private
Had no
emails.
reason.
That's the key difference. He wasn't performing. He wasn't
Sound
bragging for
rationale to
public
me.
gain. He was managing risk, and the risk he described involved Trump. That makes his account more credible, even if he was a morally bankrupt. It's not subtle. Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary, called the Epstein emails a fake narrative, and Trump went on Truth Social ranting about Democrats trying to distract from real issues. The problem is, they're not actually disproving
No, it don't.
anything.
It don't. It proved that he lied, Justin Wilson. It proved that he lied. It proved that he lied. It proves that he was there. It proves that all they do is make excuses. They say the same shit all the time. They never take ownership. And they rely on dumb people like you, silly rabbit. Yeah, so I'm going to tell everybody who sit up here and agree that he is the best thing since sliced bread. I just want you to let your wife, your kids, your daughter, your son, even your damn dog go spend a whole summer at the White House with him. And let him play with your kids, your mama. Yeah, maybe he did play with your mama. Maybe that's why you think like he do. Slow in the head. You better stop drinking that Kool-Aid. Stop drinking that Kool-Aid, Justin Wilson. Stay away from the Kool-Aid.
They're just dismissing it. That's not a defense, it's damage control. I don't buy the fake narrative argument. These emails didn't come from anonymous Twitter accounts or political operatives. They came from Epstein's estate. Actual records that passed through congressional oversight, with both Democrats and Republicans involved in reviewing them. The wording may be awkward or redacted, but the content itself isn't fabricated. It's not out of context, it is the context. A man with deep ties to Trump privately discussing him in a way that implies knowledge and involvement. The White House's strategy here is pure politics. They're terrified of any narrative that reminds people how long Trump moved in the same elite social circles as Epstein and how he's been trying to rewrite that history since 2019, saying it's out of context.
And on from the good ship, lollipop. skip to the loo, my darling. Look at them playing in the park. Now, what is this saying
Trying to
about
rewrite the
friendship?
history.
Who gave who this? What? They giving plaques in honor of Friendship Month. They done gave plaques and shit. We celebrate our long-lasting bond. You love me, I love you. We're as happy. I mean, wait, what? What is this? Between a president. Oh, so he was the president when he got this plaque? And his close friend, Jeffrey Epstein? What? What? Now, well, dang. Yeah, what about the childhood element? A plaque? I love you. You love me. We have things in common. You're my best friend. You're my only friend. You're my friend. Me and you shall never part. Come on, let's do the color purple. Hand hit. Me and you shall never part. Ma-ti-da-da. Will you be my Valentine? Will you be my boyfriend? Yes or no? What in the world? So, bro, men, friend. Now, I saw some strange shit last night. And they were supposed to be brothers on each other's butt. I mean, on his back. I mean, right there where the dip is. If he'd have put an arch in that back, man, I'm telling you. If he'd have arched that bad, baby, you know. Like he trying to act like he got something back there. You know how females do that. When they see a fine brother, they go, and they throw that ass. I mean, you know, they arch that back. Or, you know, when they, you know, when you know. And they put that arch in that back. You know what I'm saying? That's what it looked like to me last night. I ain't even lying. Yeah, but okay, let me, I mean, should we be offended with people we done been friends with for longer than 10 years and we ain't got no plaque? Now, Barney would be in my... Ooh, Lord, this is too much. They were in love, my God.
Since 2019. Saying it's out of context is just a way to muddy the waters, because the context that is there looks bad enough. If you're asking who's being dishonest, I think it's Trump. He minimizes everything, saying he barely knew Epstein, that he kicked him out, that he never saw anything wrong. But Epstein's emails and the accounts of people who knew them both tell a different story. There was closeness. There was time.
How the hell he got a plaque and he barely knew Epstein? He got a whole damn plaque.
Had no reason to lie to Ghislaine Maxwell in private emails. That's the key difference. He wasn't performing. He wasn't bragging for public gain. He was managing risk.
And they come in here asking me, do I believe it?
Trump.
Shit,
that
yeah,
makes
I
his
sure
account
do.
more credible, even if he was a morally bankrupt human being. My final take: Epstein's dead. The victims are still waiting for full justice, and Trump is doing what he always does: deny, deflect, and spin. Between Trump and Epstein, one's dead and one's still hiding the truth. And I think we all know which is which.
If you want to drop your auto insurance
What y'all think about that?
rate, then don't skip this video.
Y'all
Take
believe
a look.
AI?
Remove my personal info, guys.
Or you believe the lion orange guy?
$140 per month down to just $45
Do you
per
believe AI
All right, ChatGPT.
or the lion orange guy? What we doing? Who do we believe, T-Sippers?
It came to the conclusion that the one being dishonest here is Donald Trump. But you know what? I want it to stop treating us like children. Don't hold back. Just tell us all straight up. Was Donald Trump simply aware of what was going on, or did he actually take part in it? And here is the answer. If those messages are authentic and unaltered, and if Epstein's words were literal, then yes, it's fair to suggest Trump was involved deeper than just knowing.
Absolutely.
The 2011 email places him in the same house with a victim. The 2000 just knowing. The 2011 email places him in the same
Placing him in the same house.
house with a victim. The 2015 one shows Epstein and Wolff discussing how to manage Trump's denials. And the 2019 message suggests Trump asked Ghislaine to stop. That's not the picture of a man who barely knew the guy. It's a man who knew enough to stay quiet and maybe enough to get nervous. And at some point, if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a...
And baby, when I tell you he nervous, they say he was all on the phone last night. His war paint was sliding down his face. The shit was too. I mean, no, it was his leg. Stop it. It was running down his leg. He couldn't eat. Throwing up. Finger cramps from dialing everybody's phone number, begging. Saying he's sorry for 2004. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I went too far. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A duck. It's probably a duck. However, there's a difference between what looks bad and what can be proven. Legally, there are no charges, no sworn testimonies, and no direct evidence linking Trump to Epstein's trafficking crimes.
Remember now, you know it's bad. Let me tell you something. I'm about to get her out of my ear. Baby, you know it's bad when AI. Let me tell you something. So people tell me, you believe AI? Well, when AI wasn't saying nothing, AI was saying, well. You know, sounding like Buzz Bunny. You know. Yeah, when AI wasn't saying nothing, it was okay. Now AI saying, oh, hell yeah. I can't make excuses for him no more. I know this is a Israeli as device. I do know I work for the Israelis, but you ain't finna get me caught up in this shit. No, he did it. AunTeaFee, don't keep asking me the same shit over and over now. Yes, he guilty. I'm okay. Stop. You said stop lying for him. Stop making excuses. So I'm not gonna make not one more excuse no more. Yes. 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 Yeah. It was I was cool in the fan when it was defending the man. Damn, that was a bar. Oh, that was bars, wasn't it? AI was cool as a fan when it was defending the man. Now it's telling the truth, and these simple Simon ass people gonna tell me, oh, so you if you believe AI, oh yeah, girl, you almost made me go in there and call your name.
All the dots connect in a disturbing pattern.
Now you said, you know, that's that reverse psychology shit. Yeah, it's perfect when it's in your favor. When it's not, oh, I can't believe y'all are crazy as hell if y'all believe it. Yeah, get your ass on. Yeah, let him play footsies and shit in your kid's bed, your mama's bed. Whoever you love, let him play in her ass. Yeah. Or maybe yours. I don't know. He like men too. I mean, God, dang, I ain't never seen no bro love like that. I don't, listen. I ain't cool on bros being that cool with one another. I don't care if they frat brothers. I don't give a dang. I'm gonna tell you that now. You way too intimate with a man. I don't know how your ass was pledged. You better not be no grown ass man. Giving plaques, the shit, personal affection. I love you. Oh, can we skip in the park? Yeah, all Barney and shit. Wasn't Barney Fruity Tooty? Barney and Ernie? Yeah, Big Bird, all of that shit. All them damn nicknames, bro nicknames and shit. You better have shit. It's cool to have a frat. I dig it. But all of this love language, he know my love language. He knows my love language. Go, bruh. Go, bruh. Oh, yeah, nah. I mean, And that was just too much. So, shout out to AI. Oh, y'all know I ain't playing. But let me tell you another one that'll make my eyebrow go up. Bros before O's. Oh no. What that mean? What that really mean? Bros before O's. Yeah, no. That's way too much. They have a whole different meaning to me. He got a whole plaque. Did y'all see that plaque? Yeah, did you see them holding hands in the park and shit? Did y'all see that? Bros, that's bros before hoes, right? I mean, y'all know. Friendship, frat, I mean, what is this? Yeah, no, I can't. What is this? Yeah, no. Okay, let's keep going. Now, so I think AI got it.
How he's been trying to rewrite that history since
I barely know the man.
Saying it's out of context is just a way to muddy the waters, because the context that is there looks bad enough. If you're asking who's being dishonest, I think it's Trump. He minimizes everything, saying he barely knew Epstein, that he kicked him out, that he never saw anything wrong. But Epstein's emails and the accounts of people who knew them both tell a different story. There was closeness, there was time spent together, there was awareness. Epstein, on the other hand, had no reason to lie.
What about the necklace? What, you get one part of the heart, I get the other part. I mean, what are we doing? You mess around and see that in your jewelry box, you be like, wait, what? Who got the other? And then you up here mad thinking it's a female, and he be like, oh, no, my bro gave it to me. Yo, who? So you and your bro, y'all giving the heart sign, the love sign? AunTeaFee, are you? Yeah, I'll be speechless. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be like, did you see that movie with what's that guy name? I can't think of his name. He always plays, Leon. Yeah, when he was an elite, and they had that elite club, and they had them late nights and midnights and hanging out with the boys. Yeah, nah.
To Ghislaine Maxwell in private emails.
You can hide it under your polo shirt.
He wasn't performing. He wasn't bragging for public gain. He was managing risk. And the risk he described...
I don't watch shadow bans. I don't watch all that stuff.
Even if he was a morally...
I'm smart enough. I'm smarter than that. Some of the stuff CNN and NBC have now I already had. So, wrong answer. I got better. I got better sources than that. So now you brainwashed if you believe Trump didn't do it. Yeah, you late to the party, shadow man. But I see why they hired your ass, because you slow. Get your ass up out of here. Bye-bye. And ILW, hi, what that mean? Do I need, what you got to say, ILW? Go ahead and tell me what's on your mind. I want to see where you at. Did you hit the like button? Before you tell me what's on your mind, did you hit the like button? Hi, Dave. Oh, no, Dave, you right. I bet you them knees. Oh, I bet you them knees. That whole leg is just look like a whole elephant leg. I bet you, ooh, I bet you it's swole red and funky. I bet you the sweat in them funky ass shoes. I bet you them shoes. Oh my god. Oh god. Cornstarch. What is that other one? Baking soda, pine salt. Oh my god. What is that? Lysol. Febreze. Huh? Them old diabetic. If he ate a Whataburger all the time, and they talking about Whataburger, McDonald's, and burger, did he not get the memo that they got a human DNA in that shit? Are you sure he not diabetic? I ain't gonna show y'all no video I saw today how they process their meat. Oh, now we speak English over here, Carmen. Boo. Change your translate to English so I know exactly what you're saying before I put you out. I went ahead and removed that. You need to put a translate over here. You see I'm talking English, don't you? I don't speak Spanish. Yeah. Let's go.
Bankrupt human being.
I think you're being disrespectful.
My final take, Epstein's dead, the victims are still waiting for full justice, and Trump is doing what he always does. Deny, deflect, and spin. Between Trump and Epstein, one's dead and one's still hiding the truth. And I think we all know which is which.
Absolutely.
All right, ChatGPT. It came to the conclusion that the one being dishonest here is
I agree,
Donald
Mr.
Trump.
Man.
But you know what? I want it to stop treating us like children. Don't hold back. Just tell us all straight up.
I need for them to exhume the body. We need to have a formal funeral so we all can see that the pedo is gone. And then they brought up the other guy that was in Europe who was doing the fake model agency. His name came up in the live before this one. Oh, baby, it was so good. Again, I'm trying to tell y'all, the emails that everybody over there talking about that we talked about yesterday ain't the ones that we talked about today. We are ahead of the game. They stuck on those. We was all in Europe, Russia, Prime Minister, another foreign place. Oh yeah, it was too good.
Was Donald Trump simply aware of what was going on, or did he actually take part in it? And here is the answer. If those messages are authentic and unaltered, and if Epstein's words were literal, then yes, it's fair to suggest Trump was involved deeper than just knowing.
Hamdi, these were people that we hadn't heard of. And then, are you talking about Netanyahu? Oh, Netanyahu, he mad at, he mad at him because he went on over to that West Bank when he had already made a deal with Qatar. He was going to do Qatar like he did Epstein. Yeah, that's how he was going to do Netanyahu, and he went with the higher bidder. And so Netanyahu said, man, you done lost your fucking mind. And he went, he don't, baby, Netanyahu said shit. He cussed him out. He cussed old Trump out. You got life. Yeah, so listen, I told y'all Netanyahu from Poland and he from New York and Philly. He cussed him smooth. He went straight hood on Trump. You think everybody scared of you? Yeah, he went straight. Okay, so this is how I hear Netanyahu going off on Trump. Y'all ready for my interpretation? Nah, y'all ready for Laquita's interpretation of how Netanyahu went off on Trump when he found out that he was trying to back up out their deal? And because he had a better deal with Qatar, he said, motherfucker, I don't care who the fuck you think you are, nigga. Ain't nobody scared of you. Ain't nobody scared of you. This is what Netanyahu was saying to Trump. I don't give a shit. We had a deal. And if you don't want to honor it, cool. I'm still taking over. Now do something. Yeah, now what? He now what him? Now what? What he's saying, so Netanyahu now what Trump? Now what? I'm still going. I'm still taking over. Now what? Do something. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Netanyahu ain't leaking some of the stuff, y'all. I would be honest with you. Oh, well, that'll come later, Amanda. We just want the files out. You asking for too much at the wrong time. Yeah, you sit back and chill. Yeah. Yeah, we already know that. Hamdi, you new over here, boo. We already know that. Please don't come over here. Yeah, we talk about that every day. Gauge the room, sir. We talk about that every day. We are not new to Netanyahu, or we know his last name. We know he was born in Poland. We know he went to lived in New York. We know that he was part of FBI, CIA. We know he has a whole different name, an American name, and a social security number. We know that he done been married a few times. We know he cheated on his wife, and his op tried to blackmail him. We already know all that. We know that he joined forces with the intelligence. He is a part of the CIA, the Rothschilds. We know all of that. We know that he is partaking in the New World Order. They plan to make Israel, Gaza, and all of that over there what's that place everybody want to go to? What is that place when they have the camels and stuff? Dubai, the smart city. Yeah, we done peeped all that. Okay, we just play slow, but we are really on top.
A 2011 email places him in the same house
Charlie
with
Brown.
the victim. The 2015 one shows Epstein and Wolff discussing how to manage Trump's denials. And the 2019 message suggests Trump
What is
asked Ghislaine to
FYM?
stop. That's not the picture of a man who barely knew the guy.
What's
It's a man who
FYM? Okay, Shady didn't leave. I'm glad you said that. Every time you come over here saying something ain't true, I'm gonna put you out. Cause why you here? I'm gonna put you out. So if you think what I'm saying is wrong, just leave. You don't have to comment. You didn't hit the like button, no way. My likes didn't go up. Now, what is FYM? FYM, what is that? No, he just wants to come in here and contradict the truth.
do enough to stay quiet and maybe enough to get nervous. And at some point, if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. However, there's a difference between what looks bad and what can be proven. Legally, there are no charges, no sworn testimonies, and no direct evidence linking Trump to Epstein's trafficking crimes. So, even if all the dots connect in a disturbing pattern, that's still not enough to declare him a participant.
Why did Epstein plead the fifth on Trump? Why did Epstein plead the fifth on Trump? When Epstein was questioned about, have you seen Trump with minors? Why did he plead the fifth? Instead of saying, oh no, nope. Why would your former best friend, whom told on you, why you plead the fifth? Okay, but if he didn't do nothing and you had never seen him with minors, why not say no? Nope. Yeah, because he knew that he was going to, he had already made a deal with him to let him live and move him to Israel. Do a Houdini, Machiavelli, a great escape. I think when he pled the fifth, when he said, although I would love to tell you to answer that, I will have to plead the first, the fourth, the fifth, the whatever, when it came to Trump, instead of just saying nope, like Ghislaine lied, just outright lied and perjured herself. He was smart enough to plead the fifth. They had already gave him a plea deal in Florida. He pled the fifth in New York. He did the greatest escape in New York, Hamdi. 2 different states, 2 different charges. He got the sweetheart deal in Florida. Remember? He got the sweetheart deal in Florida. And that's why Ghislaine Maxwell felt like the sweetheart deal that she didn't get, it should have included her, and it didn't, because one was Florida and one was she was charged in New York. Yeah, do something for the orphans today. Yeah, but we were starving. Yeah. But what about the Slammy Dog? What about the kids that y'all, the immigrants that y'all sending to foreign countries, where those orphans, they're orphans now. You just made them orphans. You just made them orphans when you took them away from their parents to send them to a foreign country, not even where they're from, not even where they're native of. Yeah. To be taken advantage of. So which one is it? Yeah, or you want to protect the orphans, or you putting good kids, no problem, into harmful trafficking situations? Yes, your president. What you mean she is involved in the one in Florida? She wasn't no attorney then. I mean, she wasn't no attorney general then. If this her first go around, she was one of them lost kids. She was one of them kids that had been played with. A few of them people in their cabinet are victims of the elite trafficking. Pass around. Let's finish this off.
All right, well, there you have it. In short, nothing can be proven at the moment, but like ChatGPT said, it's probably a duck.
He done
Let
told
me know
on
in the
him.
comments if you agree with what it said today, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe.
Y'all see, I ain't the only one to be saying hit the like button. What y'all think? Was Chat GPT on point? I think so. Ain't no fast track. Let's see what she say before we hear. Oh boy, 20,000 emails. I sourced earlier today had already read all the emails.
A victim who's. Let me, Tara Mary, bring you in on this email from 2011. It is written in 2011 from Jeffrey Epstein to. Let me, Tara Mary, bring you in on this email.
Yeah, the person that we listened to earlier today had already read all the emails.
In 2011 from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, and it reads, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump."
Disgusting.
A victim whose name is redacted spent hours
Disgusting.
at my house with him. Ghislaine Maxwell writes back, quote, "I have been thinking about that." And then let me just play for you. It's a little creepy, but I want you to hear in Jeffrey Epstein's voice his answer in a 2010 deposition.
Oh, let's hear that deposition.
To the same subject. This is a question and answer from his 2010 depo.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of
This is right here.
females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Terry's got his amendments down. Your thoughts?
That's the one I was talking about, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to believe that, at least answering that question, that President Trump was not around underage girls around Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, having known Virginia Roberts, she told me that Donald Trump, she met, Donald Trump through Jeffrey Epstein, that she thought that he was a nice guy, but that she had met him through Jeffrey Epstein. I know from Brad Edwards, who I believe is the lawyer asking that question in that deposition, that he interviewed Donald Trump, and Trump said that he went to Epstein's house and there were girls there. I don't think anyone can doubt or deny that Donald Trump was not fully aware of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing and what his MO was. And I think these emails just tie him closer and closer and make it the deniability even more difficult for him in this time when he's clearly sweating. This is a really difficult time for him.
Absolutely. There's no way.
Panicked.
There's
pressuring.
No way he could know who was there, who was involved. There's no way he could know about Clinton, Andrew, none of that if he wasn't there. There is no way he could speak matter-of-factly. But he had made those deals already with Epstein. Yeah, you can't know what's going on at the party if you're not at the party for trafficking. Okay, KDT dog. Okay, then why he scared? Why he begging people? Why he calling people all night? That's meaningless too, ain't it? He got hand cramps and shit. His hands look like this today because he done been dialing everybody's numbers. Saying, please, 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 please. Yeah, we was in shutdown. That was meaningless too. Yeah, he wasn't trying to hide shit, dumbass. But yeah, but your name is Dog, and he did call him an old, dirty, funky, nasty dog. So I guess you would have that same mindset of being meaningless because you play with your kids and shit too. Yeah, you play with your. As a matter of fact, let's go there. Let's go there. KDT dog, doggy dog, atomic dog, nasty dog, funky dog. Yeah, let's go there. You MAGA lover, you. Let's go there. Yes, let's go there. You dog, you like everything he do. Yeah, your mindset, your ways, your disposition, you play all in your kid's shit just like he do. Let's go there, doggy dog. Yeah, let's go there. Since you like to be all up in his ass, you think the same way. You and him are just alike. You, him, and Epstein. You really mad cause your ass. Now you shut up. You shut up. You shut up. You shut up. And you just sit back and look and listen. Don't you open your mouth. You hear me, you nasty dog, you funky dog, you. Yeah, let me show you what you dogs do. Yeah, you Donald Trump dog lovers. You. Is this you? Is this you? KTD TV nasty dog, funky dog? Huh? Is this you? Cause you think and talk just like him. You play with kids, don't you? Don't you? What he do? What it say? He a Mississippi Trump supporter. Is this you? Is this you, boo-boo? Is this you? How, what you do? What you do, dirty dog? Have been arrested after social media sting operation, huh? Meeting child for what? Hey, y'all make sure y'all follow KDTV, dog, cause he think the same way. Get they nasty asses up out of here. Watch him like y'all was watching this freakazoid. Yeah. All them supporters who co-sign. Yeah, keep y'all eye on KDT. Dog. Atomic dog. Yeah, here go another one. Garland Jeff Brady. Mississippi. Dirty dog. Let's see what else we got. Yeah. Atomic dog. Funky dog. Nasty dog. Yeah. Hound dog. Hot dog. Yeah. Since you want to co-sign, yeah, you want to co-sign for the dirty dog. What is this one? What other one did I see today? Yeah. Yeah. Since you all up in the dog pound, let's go. Yeah. Is this you, dirty dog? Is this you? Are you one of these MAGA dogs that be playing with? Oh, evangelical. I know you lying. Oh, I know he be asking for pennies in the name of what? Huh? MAGA band director. What? James. What? Has been arrested. Oh, they tagging their asses. I hope they are following every last one of these predators who is co-signing. Yeah. That trifling stuff that Trump is doing. MAGA. They gonna get you. They watching y'all. Make sure y'all keep y'all eyes on the dogs. Yeah. He probably changed his name to a dog after Epstein said that Trump was one. He was like, yeah, I like it. I'm going to change my name to dog. I'm going to seek some pennies by the name of dogs. Yeah, he a whole band director. Yep. Christians. What? Trump. Oh, is this what got him? Is this what made them put eyes on him? Yeah, keep talking. Walk down or whatever. What was it? WTV? Yeah. Trump was. Is this what got it? Is this what got it? Trump was right. He likes playing in little girls. Yeah. Yeah, y'all better watch what y'all say. Y'all better watch who y'all support. They got their eyes on y'all, and we got our eyes on you. Absolutely. Go get them. Go get them. Go sick them. Go sick them. Them dogs. Go sick them. Put their asses in the dog pound jail. Yeah. Bow wow wow. Yippee yo, yippee yay, bow wow wow, yippee yippee yo, yippee yay. Atomic dog. You're a rotten dog. Yeah. Now, y'all gonna leave me alone? Or do I have to hurt your feelings again? Huh? What else I got? Oh, yeah. One of the ones he pardoned. Yeah. Let's go here. Yeah. Y'all all one big happy, nasty ass family of pedos. Breaking. January 6th. Insurrectionist. Andrew. Will walk free. How he gonna walk free? How he gonna walk free? And he up there playing with kids. What does one charge have to do with the other? So anything he do for the rest of his life, he pardoned from, we need to keep our eye on that. He got pardoned for one charge. And it was for soliciting of a 15-year-old girl. Yeah, we need to keep our eye on that. Well, at least one thing is for sure. We know they got their eyes on them. And when you stay up in these chats, co-signing from Trump, it is a signal for them. And they watching you. So you better stay from over here. Because they ask me anything. I'ma tell them. Yep. He is a nasty dog.
Footage resurfaces years later of Trump taking part on the judging panel for Miss Teen USA. At his side, fellow judge John Casablancas. Casablancas isn't well known to the general public, but you may know his famous son, singer of successful band The Strokes, Julian Casablancas. John Casablancas isn't just a judge on the Miss Teen USA panel. He's also the founder of Elite Model Management. And over the years, he's been accused by models of having pressured them into changing on camera when they weren't yet of age. To top it off, Casablancas isn't the only modeling agency founder that Trump is connected to. Trump's wife, Melania, had been discovered, signed, and transported to the U.S. by a man named Paolo Zampoli, founder of Metropolitan Models. Stranger yet, Zampoli sits on the board of Ghislaine Maxwell's nonprofit, Terramar.
Y'all see this shit?
Trump goes on to become president of the United States and hands him the position of U.S. Special Representative for Global Partnerships. It is alleged by biographer Michael Wolff that Trump happened to be best friends with the now infamous trafficker Jeffrey Epstein for at least 10 years. And Michael Wolff isn't just any biographer. In 2014, he's contacted by Epstein. What does Epstein want? He's looking to rehabilitate his public image. Wolff agrees to write his biography and goes on to record hundreds of hours of taped conversations between them. Footage resurfaces years later of Trump taking part on the judging panel for Miss Teen USA. At his side, fellow judge John Casablancas. Casablancas isn't well known to the general public, but you may know his famous son, singer of successful band The Strokes, Julian Casablancas. John Casablancas isn't just a judge on the Miss Teen USA panel. He's also founder of Elite Model Management. And over the years, he's been accused by models of having pressured them into changing on camera when they weren't yet of age. To top it off, Casablancas isn't the only modeling agency founder that Trump is connected to. Trump's wife, Melania, had been discovered, signed, and transported to the U.S. by a man named Paolo Zampoli, founder of Metropolitan Models. Stranger yet, Zampoli sits on the board of Ghislaine Maxwell's nonprofit, Terramar. Trump goes on to become president of the United States and hands him the position of U.S. Special Representative for
one of his
global
handlers.
partnerships. It is alleged by biographer Michael Wolff.
They all a big old happy family.
With the now infamous trafficker Jeffrey Epstein for at least 10 years.
They better leave me alone. I bring receipts, boo. I know where to go and who to tamper and listen to. Cause I'm telling y'all, it's coming out in the wash, baby. And we on the spin cycle. Now, I don't know what else they got to say. This one not long. But you know what? My likes ain't up. So I'm not real quick and in no hurry to get over.
Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace, we don't know what they're going to do. Nancy Mace tweeted something out cryptically about, of course, the files were going to be released. I don't know what the Democrats are talking about. She also wants to run for governor in South Carolina and needs the endorsement of Trump to win the primary, or at least that's what one would think in terms of his golden endorsement. But they're breaking ranks. I mean, I spoke last night before these emails even were released to a House Republican source, and they said, yeah, they're breaking ranks already. They know this discharge petition will likely go through, and they will have to vote yay. They can't vote nay.
Yeah, but Trump,
it's just too hard of a vote to take, even to protect Donald Trump. So,
Tara, something interesting. I mean, it's sort of in our brains now as.
If y'all want to hear some of the tape,
if it really is that
y'all got to get my likes up.
A Republican primary. The only thing,
if y'all want to hear some of the recorded tapes of Epstein,
is the release of the
y'all need to get the likes up.
I mean, do you think that these emails could change the calculation that the only thing riskier than crossing Trump's path is standing in the way of transparency on the Epstein case?
I think it's been one of the most politically challenging things for President Trump to handle. There has not been a story that has stuck to him like the Epstein story. They're really.
Are you looking
if y'all want to hear, she told me she was 19. Who told you they was 19? You better start checking ID.
Has been no
and you may want to take a picture of it.
It just feels like to them that what more do they have to say? How much more do they have to,
the kinds of the language, the vernacular, the casualness, everything in these emails. If you look at all of them that I've had a chance,
they still talking about old emails.
Main ones that were the first ones we talked about.
Y'all still talking about old emails. We done went on. Y'all want to hear a little bit? Y'all need to get my likes up. Trump is still pressed. Okay, who cares? You making excuses? So you like people that play with kids, Jim? Do you play with kids, Jim? Jimmy? Are you one of them the MAGA PDF filers? Jim is the PDF filer. Jim is the PDF filer. Yeah. Jim, you a PDF filer? Okay, yeah, I don't want to play no more. And you didn't hit my like button. Y'all get the likes up for real. Come on. Let me remove the guests. It's time for you guys to go. We don't want to play no more. Y'all say bye to the guests. Bye to the Trump guest. Bye to the PDF filers. High five. Thank you, third rail. Thank you for the high five. Okay, they gotta go. You gotta go. You don't have to go home, but you gotta get the hell up out of here. He said, yeah, we want to hear it, AunTeaFee. Play us a little. Play another love song. Sad song.
Says you're a problem.
This time make it sweet.
You remember they're together now.
One of the conversations that I recorded with Epstein, and I think this was in a restaurant in 2017.
His people fight each other.
Right.
And then have outsiders. He sort of poisons the well outside. He will tell 10 people Bannon's a scumbag.
Bannon?
And Priest is not doing a good job. And
Priest?
Kelly has a big mouth.
Kelly?
What do you think? Jamie Dimon says you're a problem.
Jamie Dimon?
And I shouldn't keep. And I spoke to Carl Icahn.
Carl Icahn?
I need a new spokesperson. So Kelly, even though I hired Kelly Ann's husband.
Kelly Ann husband? Oh, I didn't hear Kelly Ann husband too. He done named all of them. Oh, Bannon?
Priest is not doing a good job. And Kelly has a big mouth. What do you think? Jamie Dimon says you're a problem. And I shouldn't keep. And I spoke to Carl Icahn. And Carl thinks I need a new spokesperson. So Kelly, even though I hired Kelly Ann's husband, Kelly Ann is just too much of a wild one. And then he tells Bannon, you know, I really want to keep you, but Kelly Ann hates you.
I have more than dozens. I probably have 100 hours of Epstein talking about the inner workings of the Trump White House and about his long-standing, deep relationship with Donald Trump.
There you have it, folks.
You want another teaser? Oh, baby, they're live before this one.
And high-level week. One of the top people at the UN. Churkin was great. He understood. Thank you for a lovely evening. I'll come to UN high-level week. One of the top people at the UN. Churkin was great. So focused, he walked straight into the door.
Oh, yeah.
That's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And he was so focused, he walked straight man about Donald, almost walking 15. He emails someone named Landon Thomas Jr. and he says, have them ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused he walked straight into the door.
He was trying to get to that young cat, them young cats, them babies in that water, bouncing up and down. He was so nose wide open, hot dog all hard. I wonder was that the day, when they didn't have no tops on, and they was pointing at that, cause he had a leak. That was a bad joke. Which one was the bad joke? I bet he left his whole nose print on the patio, cause he was trying to get out there where them little girls was that didn't have no tops on, and they was doing the work that. Yeah, and left a whole stain on his brain. Act before Yeah, they thought that they money, they thought they was exempt. They had people on every payroll. They had blackmail on everybody. You understand? Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't have no intel on why it's coming to, but I'm gonna tell you they shouldn't have been playing with God. And they let the wrong Christians understand what was really going on, and the prayers changed. I keep saying that, T-sippers. The prayers changed. The prayers of the righteous and the for real. Their prayers changed. Oh, is that what they doing? So they playing with God? You lying to me. Oh, you talking about at attention. Oh, we wasn't at attention because some dang-a-lang and some little girls. We was at attention because we figured out that they was playing with God. Oh, no. And you got people thinking that this Israel is talking about the Bible? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was downhill from there. It was just a matter of time. We wanted it to be instantly. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, the prayers changed. Let's be clear. And don't nobody get credit but God. Because this been going on for a long time. The plan has been in the midst a long time. Yeah, it's time for exposure. Yeah, it's time to expose this, to put a stop to this shit. Is this what y'all think? And now y'all got thousands and thousands and thousands of kids and people and genocide and drinking blood and feeding them into McDonald's and Burger King. Y'all just playing in everybody's face. You got people paying for oh my, so folk that ain't can't nobody ever find. They just disappeared. Can't find the body. No trace of hell because it's in somebody's stomach and wonder why we got parasites and shit stink because you just shitted out somebody. My bad. That wasn't a good one either, was it, Mrs. Tom? But it's the truth. And then you had the nerve to go up on prices. This is some of the craziest satanic shit I have. This by far is some of the worst shit I have heard in my life. Again, I'm going to say this, y'all. All seriousness. I knew I don't know how I knew. And I'm going to leave that alone. I'm telling y'all, only reason I'm on this stuff like this, because 1 more 3, then it was Trump. I knew there was some higher ups. I knew it was more involved. I knew it had something to do with human trafficking. I knew that Trump was going to be involved because he catered to the black rappers. I knew this Illuminati type stuff. I knew that there was 2 independent artists and it's probably way deep off in there. But I know at any point that somebody show you they got people in cages and kids and people in bondage and all of this. I just couldn't see neither one of them wanting to be involved in any of that type of stuff. And then when you start turning down contracts, you got higher ups coming to your house saying that y'all actions is messing up the money through the pipeline. Yeah, now let's go, y'all. Let me get on off of here. Yeah, he done left his whole nose bleeding and shit running into the patio.
Go through this together right now. So there's this email right here. Jeffrey Epstein in 2015, he emails someone named Landon Thomas Jr., and he says, have them ask my houseman about Donald almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass, as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused he walked straight into the door. You know, that's Donald Trump, Epstein, young women. Let's keep reading some of these emails. Jeffrey Epstein says in emails that he had been advising the Russian government on how to deal with Donald Trump. One of several cases in which he wielded his connections to try to influence the course of foreign affairs. So here's the email.
Not Russia. Not Russia. Where he just tried to sue us for, knowing good and damn well that your boy was intelligence and CIA and was giving foreign affairs and information and shit on your behalf and somebody else's behalf to Russia? You lying to me? Oh, baby, they ain't got to them emails yet, had it?
Reading some of these emails. Jeffrey Epstein says in emails that he had been advising the Russian government on how to deal with Donald Trump, one of several cases in which he wielded his connections to try to influence the course of foreign affairs.
Influence. Diddy had just returned from Russia. Okay, y'all. Didn't I tell y'all it was good, baby? Okay, so listen. I'm not a Christian, but you gotta vote. Hello. Okay, y'all. So listen, if y'all listen tonight, y'all go back and watch that live. Let me get to let's move on, because all of this is in the live before. Okay. So y'all want to get this, all you have to do is go back and watch that live. All of that is in there. Let's go to where old boy was talking about that we missed the other day. Because a lot of this good tea, I mean, they can be mad at him. They can say he don't know what he talking about. That's a lie. That's a lie. His tea is hot. His tea is hot. Okay? He advised the sex offender. Let's hear him. Let's hear him, because I can find stuff all day, every day on this mess, right? On this, because we could reveal about. Is this the one I want? Who feared who? Let's hear this one.
All right, this feels almost illegal to know, but our windows were so old and just desperately needed to be replaced.
Elemental story. Donald Trump, and I've gone through this with Epstein deep into the background.
Walked so fast.
Donald Trump is the best
friend.
But
hit that patio, that glass patio hard as hell. He got a knot on his head.
I mean, he is the best friend of a deeply, deeply diabolical person.
Well, I'm going to say I've known you for a long time. As we've often mentioned, we've known each other 25 years, and I was shocked by some of these emails. And I want to read one in particular that I was like, wow. And this is based on you sending Jeffrey Epstein an email in
we saw this one.
15, 2015,
he didn't like this one.
On the eve of a primary debate, Republican primary debate, and it's CNN's holding the debate, and you send an email to him saying, I hear CNN is planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in Scrum afterwards. He writes back, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it would be? And then you say, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating a debt. of course, it is possible when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and he's got an Iran deal and he's a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime.
Let's remember the entire context here.
Okay, but what I want to say is in this particular email, it sounds like you're advising a convicted pedophile about what to do, and you're colluding with him against a potential.
Well, I don't know.
Candidate.
What emails sound like? Would one have rewritten them in hindsight? Yeah, of course. Emails always are. Oh, that's embarrassing. But remember what's going on here. I am in this. I am where no one else is. I am in proximity to a story which actually most people don't see at this point.
So in these emails, what strikes me is that you're frequently giving advice to Jeffrey Epstein about how to handle the media, how to use the media. Were you his media advisor?
No, he had. I mean, and given the fact of how badly he has managed the media over the course of his long difficulties, I would not want in any way, but this was always a major thing, and this was actually, part of the reason, part of my entree here, that I knew about the media. That gave me the kind of cachet that got me a place at the table, which has gotten me the Epstein story, if anyone wanted to pay attention.
Right, so this
he got the story.
I'm the person who sees this elemental story. Donald Trump, and I've gone through this with Epstein deep into the background. Donald Trump is the best friend of, evil. I mean, he is the best friend of a deeply, deeply diabolical person.
Because he is
who is involved in, well, we now know what he's involved in.
1,000 women, trafficking 1,000
girls, and
buried back and
so
forth.
what I understand at this point is that Donald Trump may become the president of the United States, and this is still in 2015 an iffy proposition, but nevertheless, a possible president of the United States has been involved for well more than 10 years, has been joined at the hip with this person, has been involved in both of these men, in every aspect of each other's lives, sharing girlfriends in their financial lives. Now, this is, to me, and this is a moment which I think we ought to pause, because I think we're very close to the smoking gun. This is what is not only in...
This is why he's scared.
Implied in my emails,
very
but
close.
In other emails that Epstein has sent.
And by the smoking gun, what do you mean?
Well, the relationship, and remember, Donald Trump has denied this relationship. Oh,Epstein, passed him in the hall.
Well, he's calling it a democratic hoax again. He just which
of course he will. He's called it again and again. Everything is a hoax. Everything in his life he doesn't like is a hoax.
But the
smoking gun is obviously, has Donald Trump been involved with Jeffrey Epstein and underage girls? Did Donald Trump know about Jeffrey Epstein's, that the underage girls in and out of Epstein's house? Now, I have spoken here and in many other places about the photographs that I have seen, and Epstein in one of these emails confirms or says Trump knew about the girls, and he damn well did. I have seen the pictures of the girls, again, a dozen snapshots, 3 of which I vividly remember, 2 with topless girls sitting on Donald Trump's lap.
Okay, there's another one I wanted to read to you here, which was came out in October of 2016, so just before he was being elected. There's an opportunity to come forward this week and talk about Trump in such a way that could garner you great sympathy and help finish him. interested?
You know, one of the things that I was focused on is trying to get Epstein to come forward. Why don't you go public with these pictures? Why don't you go public? Let me help you go public in telling your story about Donald Trump. I mean, I saw then, as I have continued to see and see every day now, that Donald Trump was unfit to be the president of the United States.
So Blue Sky and X and social media is full of journalists just saying this is completely unacceptable, this is not how you speak to a source, this is not what journalism is.
Well, these are not people who have written the kind of books that I have written, and you know, and I often make the distinction between journalists who do what they do, daily reporters, working for organizations, working within a very prescribed set of rules, and what I do. I mean, I'm a writer who manages to make relationships that let me tell a story in the ways that the New York Times or other very reputable journalistic organizations are unable to tell. I mean, I am the journalist who got into the Trump White House in those first months, for 7 months actually. I sat there and was able to write a book, that's my book, Fire and Fury, which was, I think made a substantial contribution to understanding what was going on and the utter uniqueness and out of controlness of the first Trump White House. I did the same, my biography of Rupert Murdoch. Somehow I was the only journalist not in his employ who has ever spent an enormous amount of time with him, basically a year. And
what do you
and the
do?
emails, but no, I just want to make the point that if you saw the emails that I shared with Rupert Murdoch, I would be embarrassed about them. But I was able to write the book that no one has been able to write, and the book also that he profoundly hated.
All right, so I was going to ask you about that, because you go in, and certainly Rupert Murdoch is a perfect example. You go in, you spend an inordinate amount of time with them, and they believe that you are on their side. Do you basically go sort of suck up to them and agree?
Well, let me ask the question in a friendlier way. Am I acting? Am I play acting?
Right. Are you pretending?
Am I playing a role? And the answer is yes. I mean, that's what a journalist, a writer in that situation does. If you want to stay, if you want to be invited back the next day and the next day and the next day, yes. So the point is not what you say, but what you write, the story you tell, and and that's always the thing that I'm constantly focused on. Tell me what you would not tell other people.
I mean,
in order to do that, you got to. I think as my mother would say, you get more with a little honey.
Right. Some of the honey feels a lot when it's a convicted pedophile.
But that's not the point. Is to get the story of the convicted pedophile. I could have easily not gotten the story and could have said, you're a fucking pedophile and I can't see you anymore. But in order to get the story, and let's.
Why you came with him?
That I have told as often as I can.
He got the story though.
That I can. The story of Donald Trump's relationship with this pedophile. A story that virtually, and certainly many of the journalists that I'm sure are now criticizing me, have chosen not to pick up. I've had a very, very hard time telling this story.
So you used the phrase twice in the email we started off with about let him hang himself, which turns out to have a particular resonance.
Well, the hanging here was referred to not Epstein, but
it's Trump.
Trump. Trump was pretending he was someone other than who he actually is,
Right.
which is, you know, I think by
Sick.
wide agreement, one might say certainly the sleazeball of our time, but also I think
Because exactly what Trump was saying about Epstein, because see, only someone who is like-minded could be a best friends, holding hands. I mean, you know, the heart, the hand heart. I mean, who does that? What, huh? So he is just as sick as Epstein is. Because, again, I can't wait to Wolff remind the people that Epstein was sick, yeah, but who turned him on to the trafficking part of it? That sick orange man. They both sick. So what he was saying about Epstein, he was also saying about himself, but he's a narcissist. And he would never expose himself. He would just put his habits, his illness, his sickness on someone else. That's what they do. But nobody that is well in their head will have a best friend holding hands. Yeah. Hanging out tight with. All up in his ear. Unless y'all have the same views and the same mindset. So yes, Wolff he was wanting to put the story out. Because as he was describing Epstein, he was also describing himself. I get it. Let's go. And it's coming out.
we could argue a criminal in his sleazeballness.
All right, so let's talk a bit more about your methodology in terms of when you came home from spending, you know, a day with Jeffrey Epstein or an evening at Jeffrey Epstein's house. What did you do? Did you write notes? Did you speak into a...
Right. You better have prayed.
So you came out of the persona that you adopted when you were there.
Yes, and also most of these conversations with Jeffrey Epstein are on tape. So, you know, as we've discussed before, I've discussed many, many places. There are hours and hours, upwards of 100 hours of Jeffrey Epstein talking about many things, but many hours of him talking about Donald Trump and his relationship to Donald Trump.
So what else is in the tapes? What else do we need to know? What other emails are going to come out with explosive revelations?
Well, I think that there's, because these, again, to go back to this, and this is where the focus should be. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had this deep relationship. They knew everything about each other, and then they fell out with enormous acrimony. But for more than a decade, that's what they were doing, and their obsession was women, girls, models. You know, again, I can't make that point clear enough. It was models, 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 supermodels, runway models, fashion models, catalog models, girls who just wanted to be models. You know, the Trump model agency.
Well, they all had a modeling agency, right?
Jeffrey Epstein had a modeling agency. Trump had a model. Yes, everyone. I didn't have a modeling agency.
So you've talked about going after Trump, but how is Donald Trump, who was elected president not once but twice, worse than a convicted pedophile who, it turns out, had trafficked 1,000 girls? I mean, he was sending cars to pick up girls from
Okay, but
school.
that's, Joanna, that's clear the answer. Because he's the president of the United States. Because
he was having cars to pick up girls from school.
What a leader.
Trump, who was elected president not once but twice, worse than a convicted pedophile who, it turns out, had trafficked 1,000 girls. I mean, he was sending cars to pick up girls from
Okay, but
school.
that's, Joanna, that's clear the answer. Because he's the president of the United States. Because he is the model of what a leader should be, of
His
what
team.
success looks like, and so it is important. It's vital. It's required at some level to understand the truth.
Why you all in his mouth?
This charade. We all live in a charade.
And you are also lying to Jeffrey Epstein by trying to seduce him into telling you everything.
Joanna, there are lies and there are lies. I am not a pedophile. I am a writer. You know, and I guess what you might be saying is, does the means justify the ends? And I would point out that the means in this instance are a kind of set of white lies. They harm no one, and they produce the end. I got this story. I am the only one, and I have been going and together actually before the election. We released the Daily Beast. We released a set of tapes that are much more explicit than these emails that directly connect Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein.
Y'all hear that? Hold on.
In a way that is, that I think for the election we released the Daily Beast. We released a set of tapes that are much more explicit than these emails that directly connect Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein in a way that is, that I think is completely revealing of Donald Trump's character and makes the point. He was, and continues to be unfit to be the President of the United States, to say the very least.
So we've been inundated, as have you, with questions from journalists trying to get to the bottom of this story.
Yeah, I need y'all to hit the likes.
We've put them together, and there's some questions here from a guy called Eric Wimple at the New York Times. I'm going to read out his questions. Just wanted to ask you.
I don't know if y'all know what that means, but I need for y'all to double tap the face of your phone if that's how you're listening. And if you're on your computers, hit those 3 dots at the top right. And if you're just want to go to the thumbs up, you can do that too. They trying to get Trump. They trying to get him. Yeah, I think they got him. Melania took the bait when she tried to sue this man right here. It was going to come out. Tell Putin I can help with Trump. Oh, somebody done got off in there. Somebody done read deeper off into the emails.
Since the dawn of time, man has been plagued by itch and irritation
Yep.
from not wiping fully
Tell
clean.
Putin. Oh, they don't talk. Yep. Victor Mar-a-Lago, Trump said he asked me to. Oh, that's that one. Yeah, but that message that he was sending to Russia was to Putin. It was to Putin. He claimed he. Are they gonna talk? Oh no, they just playing the message. Go ahead.
If you could add any context to the emails that were released, some seem to conclude that you are essentially outlining a strategy for blackmailing Donald Trump.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Candidate for
I agree.
President. Do you have any response to that?
Well, there's a curious thing, that's a reference to, and I say in one of those emails you can get.
Well, it's where you
I played it early.
Save him generating a debt.
And the interesting thing was...
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously what Epstein wanted to hear, but the point was how afraid Epstein was of Donald Trump. that really was a kind of going forward thing that Epstein was fearful about what would happen to him if Donald Trump became the president of the United States.
Well, we saw what happened.
Okay, so
He
Eric
went
has
to
another
jail.
question. It seems as though these emails are news. Did you ever disclose them in any of your pieces or podcasts or hint at them?
Well, as I've said, I haven't talked about almost nothing for the past year except my relationship to Jeffrey Epstein, and have disclosed things that I thought were much more incriminating than these emails.
Are there any other emails with Epstein that you could share to
No,
fill
but
out the picture
there
of your
are,
relationship
well,
with him?
more importantly, there are 100 hours of tape. And then Eric Wimple, the next question he will ask is have I...
You mentioned that you tried to interest news outlets in the story of the Epstein tapes. How many did you pitch and how many said no? Do you have any correspondence from those interactions?
I certainly do, and everybody has been pitched. There is almost no outlet, streamers, networks, cable stations, and book publishers who has not been pitched on this story.
Well, I was going to ask
everyone saying no.
So you spent 4 or 5 years on and off with Epstein at the center of Epstein's sort of table with all the people that came to and from his house. The book never appeared. He wanted you to write a book about him after your Murdoch.
No, but several other books did appear, which is, he became a very...
Do you mean several other books by you? Or
yes, by me. So he became a very significant source for me for my 4 books about Donald Trump. I understand Donald Trump as well as I do.
Mrs. Tom, you got me all in that man mouth.
Because of Jeffrey Epstein. There are many other people and many other
You got me in his mouth. Thank you, Naturally Narlins.
But Epstein.
Yeah, come on. I need 40 likes.
Probably the 2 people who have been most insightful about Donald Trump are Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon, who actually curiously then became friends.
So is one of the reasons that the networks and streaming services or whatever have turned you down on this is because Jeffrey Epstein is thought to be an unreliable
Professor.
I don't think so. I think the reason is that they are scared. They're scared of being sued by the Trump administration.
Okay.
They're uncomfortable with how to talk about this story.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to see Jeffrey Epstein in any more than that single lens through which we view him. And these tapes go all over the place. They really show a life in full. I mean, a really strange life and clearly a diabolical life. But he is something else in these tapes beyond just the man who victimized many girls. But I actually don't think that's them. I think they are afraid of what Donald Trump will do. And remember, Donald Trump has repeatedly, at every instance, turned to the media outlets, and if he doesn't like what they do, he sues them.
I know getting the story is important. Are there any lines that you wouldn't cross?
You seem to downplay the importance of getting the story, and which I would not do. Getting the story is the all important thing. But of course, I'm not going to be. Do I have to answer this?
Well,
you know the answer to this. Of course there are.
I mean, you remind me a little bit of an undercover cop.
Well, I suppose
undercover. Wait a minute.
In a way that I am, and in the and clearly a diabolical life. But he is something else in these tapes beyond just the man who victimized many girls. But I actually don't think that's them. I think they are afraid of what Donald Trump will do. And remember, Donald Trump has repeatedly, at every instance, turned to the media outlets, and if he doesn't like what they do, he sues them.
I know getting the story is important. Are there any lines that you wouldn't cross?
You seem to downplay the importance of getting the story, and which I would not do. Getting the story is the all important thing. But of course, what I'm not going to be. Do I have to answer this?
Well,
you know the answer to this. Of course there are.
I mean, you remind me a little bit of an undercover cop.
Well, I suppose in a way that I am, and in the television show, the undercover cop always has to prove himself by shooting someone who is. I wouldn't do that.
Well, that's relief.
Let's remember what I did. I sat at a table and listened to Jeffrey Epstein and many of the other people who he invited to his table, and I often said what he wanted to hear.
His table sounded a really intriguing place to be. There were all sorts of people from world leaders. We've talked on the podcast about how you ran into the head of the Nobel Prize Committee there. You said you saw Bill Gates there, Woody Allen there, Larry Summers there. Is there a way in which you were trying to seduce Jeffrey Epstein into confiding in you, and you were also seduced by Jeffrey Epstein?
Well, no. This is. I'm not the first journalist in this position, and many journalists have talked about this and how to navigate such a.
Lalani, put your question on a super chat or super sticker, please. Support the platform. Hit the like button. Please don't come in just asking me questions. Did you say hi? I mean, who are you? Yeah, put your question on a super chat or super sticker. You got too many questions for a guest, and you haven't supported my platform. So I'm going to remove those questions, and you go about it the right way. Put it on a super chat, super sticker, and I'll be happy to answer that for you. Support this platform. Hit the like button. Don't come in getting information, trying to get into my head, and you have not supported my platform. Y'all double tap the face of the screen, get the likes up. Hi, Lalani. Is it Lalani or Lalani? Hello, how are you? Yeah, no, come on now.
Situation, and the times they have failed to entirely navigate this situation. And I suppose that that there were moments in which you have to stomach what you know you should not be stomaching, but you do because.
When you say that, what do you actually mean?
And again, that's why you stomach, because you're not seeing anything, you're not participating in anything, you're just hearing things. So, my relationship with Jeffrey Epstein did not go. I have never, in all of the hours that I have spent with him, I have never saw any interaction with women, with girls.
Did you ever see the massage room?
I never saw the massage room. I do want to say, and I think it's important that the kind of journalism I do, or the kind of
for y'all who missed it earlier. Oh yeah, let me go here. Y'all also missed it earlier in the email before this one. That was it was fire. It was fire. But it also came out that about the about the $20,000 check on the golf course where the Trump had purchased the depreciating lady that I say is Melania. That came out earlier too. That came out earlier. Inquiring minds want to know about condoms. Didn't see any. Oh, are you kidding? No. No. Because remember, they talked about what am I going to do if I get pregnant? And remember he said you get an abortion. So if they talking like that, they didn't like condoms. You know, Diddy didn't like them either. Where did you learn that behavior? Did he learn that behavior from his father? Amber, put all questions and on a super chat, a super sticker. He got exposed for what? You know, if they sick like that in the head, they gonna like that feeling. They not gonna want no Oh, he live right now. Yeah, support the platform, y'all. I don't even have the my likes where I want them.
Years old, he doesn't really exercise. You know, his diet isn't exactly the model diet.
I'm Joanna Coles.
Oh no, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about that girl that he sold for the love of money. That Trump paid for Epstein's ex-girlfriend that he had been with for a couple of years. So that's why she was. I'm telling y'all, I feel that's. I'm still saying that may be Melania. Who else has he paid $20K for? And what other girlfriend? We know he was with Melania. Where is it at? We know, oh girl, Holanya. We done already talked about this. Yeah, that came out, baby. I'm trying to find it. Oh, it's just so much going on right now.
We know that when it comes down to...
They have only brought more attention to the Epstein files through this last 6 months of
She got caught hiding evidence.
The latest criminal leak after a cover-up from Pam Bondi is proving why this administration is collapsing right now. We are going to get into that court leak showing the idiocy of Pam Bondi as Epstein blows up Donald Trump's entire term. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into this ridiculous court leak, I want to start with Jasmine Crockett's breakdown, the latest on the Epstein files, and all you need to know about another idiotic lawyer in Trump's administration.
Introducing the only prescription hair
and I think the judge threw out that case with Comey.
Yeah, there's still more that committee staff is going through and determining what needs to be redacted before the release. And then we always consult with leadership on the Republican side as well before any drops are made public. And I fully anticipate that we will receive more.
So they work with the Republican side. So that silly rabbit in the office where she was just lying like they dropped it like all secret, you know. No, they're working together. They have collectively came together and decide what needs to be dropped when it drops. So it wasn't a surprise to the other side, boo-boo. It was just a surprise to the White House. Hello. They double teaming. They coming together, boo. They said, he trying to divide. We gonna come together. We gonna, You said that, okay, I said that too. Okay, you cool, I'm cool, we cool. Let's go. Yeah. You cool, I'm cool, we cool. You forgive me, I forgive you. Okay, we forgive each other. Okay, let's go. Put your Vaseline on, pull your hair back. Let's go. On Trump. Yeah, they working together. They finna swing the monkey down. Let's go.
Subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before
yes, indeed.
we get into this ridiculous court leak, I want to start with Jasmine Crockett's breakdown, the latest on the Epstein files, and all you need to know about another idiotic lawyer in Trump's administration.
Yeah, there's still more that committee staff is going through and determining what needs to be redacted before the release, and then we always consult with leadership on the Republican side as well before any drops are made public. And I fully anticipate that we will receive more, at least from the estate of Epstein. It does not seem like the Department of Justice has really been inclined to actually participate, which is one reason that we're talking about this discharge petition and talking about this vote. It's because we need something with a little bit more fire behind it to hopefully get the Department of Justice to finally start to cooperate.
Why is it that Epstein's estate, I mean, the Todd Blanche, the president's deputy attorney general now, he wrote this morning that when he went to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, quite a moment, that law enforcement didn't have the materials that Epstein's estate hid for years and only just provided to Congress. Why is he saying this now, and why is the estate talking to Congress if not to the...
Have you ever heard of CYA? That's exactly
cover your ass.
Going on.
Exactly, because let me answer it for you, because they never thought that these documents was gonna come out, because the DOJ never, the plan was for them to never displayed them. So that's why he trying to cover tail now, because the shit is coming out. Yeah, that's why. Let's go.
You're right. That's who he is.
Former personal attorney.
That's who he is, though. Like, I'm sticking with it. I get what you got to say. But at the end of the day, that's what he's been trying to do. He's been trying to do Trump's bidding. He has not been acting like anyone's attorney general. And we know that when it comes down to whether you're the deputy or whether you are, say, Pam Bondi, the actual AG, you are supposed to be the people's attorney. But she has decided that she wants to neglect the people and do whatever it is that Trump wants her to do, along with Todd Blanche. So here it is. He's like, well, I didn't have all the information. Well, sir, did you try to get the rest of the information? Do we know for sure that the Department of Justice didn't have this information? And if they didn't have this information, do we know whether or not they actually deleted this information? Do we know that there was a thorough investigation? Do we know whether or not the investigation had concluded? These are all questions that we need answers to, but we can't get them when you're not.
Well, if he would have went about it the right way, see, instead of sneaking in there, going in there, because she didn't give shit. She didn't give up nothing for her to be moved. Yeah, so y'all was creeping. And y'all thought that y'all were going to be in total control. Oh, you like his teeth. What guy? I like this guy. What guy? Miss Tom? Hey, yeah, so they thought that y'all was gonna be smooth sailing and y'all can do and say whatever it was that you wanted to, and nobody was gonna ever know. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. How about that? He didn't cover all his tracks. He forgot that he had worked with that attorney. He was so hell-bent on getting Epstein, because Epstein called him a old, nasty, funky, rotten-ass dog, and he had the nerves to blackmail him. He had the nerve to try to do me on me. So how about I'm going to put them people in his life? I understand. Let me tell you something. I understand that language, boo-boo. I will put the people in your life. Okay? I know exactly what he did, why he did it. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Naturally Knowledge. High five. I know exactly what he did, why he did it. Yeah, this an easy read. I don't know why it's so hard for everybody else. This shit right here is easy. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, but he forgot. He forgot other people that he had talked to, went real deep into, trying to bury Epstein. Justine, yeah. trying to bury him. He forgot. Boop, 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 boop. Oh boy, over there, that's the attorney for the females. You forgot that you helped him too. Yeah, you forgot. And then obviously something came out that you felt like, okay, stop. You done went too far. Okay. So let's work this out. Yeah, let him sit in there, do this. We will arrange with all them passports and IDs and different names and shit to get you out the country. We'll say that you took your life and nobody will never know. You will go away and then I will be able to go over here and do whatever we want to do. Change your will, close this, leave your bank account. We'll make deposits. We'll still operate this undercover, underground. Hey, Kane Life, Trophy Cake. Woo! Woo! Y'all see that cake? Boy, I just twerked. Thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, so that's what's happening, y'all. That's why, and he forgot about old boy, and it was old boy who popped out, said, I don't know why Trump tripping. I don't know why he faking the funk. Yeah, because he done told me all of this. He the one who helped me. He gave me information I didn't know. He helped me, beat Epstein with the females to get them these settlements. So I know he know. But listen, on the cool, all you have to do is reach out to the estate. Man, I already worked that out. So if you reach out to him, tell him I sent you. Tell him I sent you. Y'all know. Y'all know. Tell him I sent you. And they'll slide that on to you. You sure they gonna do that? Trust me. Trump forgot about that. He didn't dot all his I's and he didn't cross all his T's. Yeah. So then what goes on behind the scenes? All these people start DoorDash Maxwell. Yeah, she getting DoorDash. Hell, Uber delivered to the jail cell. Yeah, so he thought that he was going, to massage over here, tickle over here, still kind of flirt with her and shit, Told her I'll come, I lock Bryan, Texas down for you. I'll come in and tune that ass up for you. You're not. Nobody will never know. I put you a queen size bunk, let you have your own TV, put some sheets on the wall. Yeah, Melania don't need to know. Hold on, you don't need to know. Yeah, that special guest and just done shut the whole jail down for a convicted pedo. And she can get DoorDash and Uber Eats and shit delivered to the prison. Where they do that at? Hey, Vicky. I was on the road. He forgot. So they all are working behind the scene collectively. The emails is coming out. The video recordings of Epstein is coming out. The girls are waking up. They coming out. They singing, Donna Ross. Ain't that her? I'm coming out. I'm coming out. Yeah. I'm coming out. Yeah, they got their hair. They got that, Yeah, they finna get his ass. They gonna make him unalive himself. They gonna make his sickness come on about and take over. They gonna make him disappear. Yeah, not disappear. Disappear. Yeah, they gonna make ghosts come in and scare his. Baby, because this all coming out. The judge is throwing out Comey. Comey's fake indictment and prosecution. They throwing it out. They finna disbar the other lady. You know, once they throw that out with Comey, y'all do know. Y'all do know. And you know his daughter is suing for her job. Y'all do know Florida is coming soon to a courthouse near you. More information gonna come out. Y'all do understand that, right? Diddy in jail drinking pea toilet wine. You know, he getting jiggy with it. Yeah, he trying to get jiggy with it because he think he finna get pardoned. By who? He touch a pardon right now, it's a wrap. They already got Republicans talking about in the Senate. They gonna have in Congress. They gonna have to say, I. They gonna scratch on his ass. Miss Tom said Laquita coming out tonight. Yeah. Yeah. See, he played too much. See, this is the problem. You don't know when to stop strong arming and intimidating. Trying to intimidate. Somebody gonna step to him. And so this is just coming together and they all stepping to him at the same damn time. Yeah, not time. Yes. Now do what? What? Now what? You done already let Bibi Netanyahu punk you. You told him no to the West Bank, and he said, "Nigga, fuck that. I done paid you. I don't care what other deal you done with Qatar. You are not finna Epstein me. You're not finna backdoor me and undercut me. I don't care who you are, Trump. I'll blow your horn and blow all that up." Let's go, Jasmine. Let's go.
Operating, so we don't know what the DOJ has, nor what it is that the DOJ potentially was trying to do. Considering that the president right now is trying to obstruct on some very basics of let's just get a subpoena that says release all the information, I wouldn't be surprised, just like he obstructed the prosecution of one of his henchmen who took $50,000 in taxpayer dollars from undercover officers. I wouldn't be surprised if he sent a message and said, stop investigating. We're done with
henchmen. Hitman. Oh, Lord.
Epstein's dead. I don't want to hear anything else about it.
Do you have any evidence of that claim?
I have no idea. No, that's the whole point. I have no information. And that's why we need these files to be released.
Absolutely, because they're going about it the wrong way.
Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent. Listen, if people decide that they want to continue to support a person who may be a pedophile himself, or
we want law and order. Where we put them thugs. All the thugs I know, y'all try to put them in jail. So your ass ain't exempt. You thugging. You know, y'all, I mean, you know, I'm going to leave Memphis out of it. But they was talking about everybody that ICE detained in Chicago. They letting them out. The judge said, let them free. Let them folk go. Everybody turning on Trump. Judge said, everybody ICE in Homeland done picked up. Let them go. Release them. Shit, everybody turning. He's a pedo. He more than in them files. And he buying hoes and shit. He buying wives. So they used to do that long time ago in foreign countries. They go over there and pick them simple ass women and shit that want to have a visa and some shit. I mean, you know, want to be able to live over here. Huh? I thought only Africans did that nowadays. They paying for women. They paying for coochie. Huh? I thought he was a G. You paying for your depreciated coochie from your homie? Y'all too damn close for me. 20K from Epstein. Nasty dick dangling ass. Huh? He done paid 20K from Melania. He got some airplane coochie, and he said, "Oh shit, she the one." Hey, you know, I don't know nothing about that airplane coochie, but hell, he got off that plane and he dropped the check. He said, "Can I get a discount? We friends, man. You done had her for a couple of years. Can I get a discount?" And he wrote on there, "For depreciating coochie." What? Lord, oh my God. Slovakia, where she from? She put that Slovakia cat on him, and she said, meow. He said, "That's it. That's music to my ears." What? Thank you, Jenny. Where they do this at? This is some different type of alley cat. There we go. Alley cat. Okay. Straight up alley cat. Stray cat, alley cat, sound. I mean, they say it's a ussy cat. I mean, wow. Wow. I mean, well, why Epstein give it up if it's all of that? He gave him his leftovers. Oh, wow.
Person who obviously
wow.
pedophiles.
High mileage.
But they should know at least the double that they have decided to pick.
Y'all, let me take y'all to that, because that dang show came up today. It's in them emails. They ain't got to it yet.
The cover-up that Todd Blanche engaged with is so obvious and clear to us all that, again, Jasmine Crockett was right. It was a Freudian slip. To say that he is Donald Trump's personal attorney still is not outside the realm of truth when he is operating that way.
Is he going to talk about
Everyone in the DOJ serves Donald Trump, and it is why
hold on, let me go to that. Y'all please get the likes up. I'm so tickled. I know he got it. I'm trying to get to the one where he talk about that girlfriend, the Trump. Man, that's so desperate. I thought that was a bro. I thought that there was a bro rule. I know good dang well there's a bro rule. Don't y'all have a bro ham rule?
But if they do, I think it's from this clip right here.
Don't y'all have? I know, y'all know like that bros before O's, but ain't there a bro rule where he ain't supposed to come up? So I guess it's okay if you pay for it. I mean, what? Where is it at? Let me find it, because the dang show came out today. It came out today. I know I've already talked about it, but it's in the emails, and he confirmed it. Let me go back. I thought he had it too. God dang. Yeah, it came out today. Real bros don't mess around. Like, I didn't think so. I mean, but hell, I guess he says okay if he paid for it. I mean, so, and yeah, they still interacted with one another in functions, but hell, she was always in the middle. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wait. Trump drags Melania. Oh, she didn't want to be. She didn't want. Let me go back to where I was earlier today, so y'all can check it out, baby, because it's sure enough came out. It's in the emails. Them pale face do different. Yeah, you know, I don't know nobody. No, boo. Ooh. That's, you talking about get your head brought to you, both of y'all. You talking about taking a brother to a place? No. But hey, this is a whole. They, I guess, I don't know. I ain't gonna even change everything. Epstein. I'm trying to get to it, y'all. I wanted y'all to go to that email, but I'm gonna break my victims inside Trump. Let me go here.
Right now. So there's.
Let me go here where I know it's at. He was on it. He said he don't went through all 20,000 emails. Oh, y'all, and hell, I might as well just go and play this one because it's talking about buying kids. Y'all get the likes up. It made me think about Oprah Winfrey. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't too happy with Oprah either because I know her mentor he was convicted of selling babies. Let's go.
15, he emails someone named Landon Thomas Jr. and he says, have them to the door. In which he wielded his connections. Yaglin says, I'll meet Lavrov's assistant on Monday and will suggest, thank you for a lovely evening. I'll come to UN high-level week. One of the top people at the UN. Churkin was great. He understood Trump after our conversations, Epstein says. It's not complex. He must be seen to get something. It's that simple. So Epstein apparently consulting with the Russians about Donald Trump.
Let's listen.
June 24th.
I need 20 likes, y'all. Come on.
Or how about this message here? Jeffrey Epstein says, I've met some very bad people. None as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body. And he's messaging that to Larry Summers. Then there's this message.
Who is Larry Summers?
Jean LeBlanc, who also died under circumstances that, let's just say.
Yeah, in prison, like Epstein. The same thing they did to Epstein, they did to this guy who was doing the same thing. So hell, his ass is in Israel too. Let's go.
Are Epstein-like and raised lots of questions. But Jean LeBlanc was involved in this kind of model agency trafficking ring as well. And here's his conversation with Epstein. Saved for 2012, but I could start to look for baby
What you mean with my neighbor's
if we wish to turn this into reality. Or would you stick with RL baby around the corner? Forgot that you're planning everything. I will send you a picture of this Burmese girl. That you're planning everything. I will send you a picture of this RL baby around the corner. Forgot that you're planning everything.
Baby?
I will send you a picture of this. And here's his conversation with Epstein. Saved for 2012, but I could start to look for baby clothes if we wish to turn this into reality. Or would you stick with RL baby around the corner? Forgot that you're planning everything. I will send you a picture of this Burmese girl, very pretty. She is the star singer in Myanmar. I will bring her to the U.S. Obama visits Myanmar, and Chan Chan comes to America. I think that I have something new and fresh news to promote. Then it seems here that Epstein is speaking with Steve Bannon about how lawyers representing now Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh in his confirmation hearing should accuse Christine Blasey Ford, who accused him of assault, of being on medications that causes false memories or memory loss. This is from May 2017. Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Summers about Trump's level of guilt. Your world, Larry, does not understand how dumb he really is. He will blame everyone around him for bad results. Gary Cohn in a good place, as is Jared. All others are not long for this world. Now here's an email from New York Times journalist Landon Thomas, I showed you one before, tipping Epstein off about following up investigations by a journalist and former NYPD detective, John Connolly.
Your neighbors think.
Thomas writes, he is digging around to Jeffrey, not clear if it's another book or expanded paperback version, was asking me all sorts of questions about why you hired Ken Starr. I told him I had no idea. I think he is doing some Trump-related digging too. Anyway, for what it's worth, ...
Now, responding to a 2017 message that Trump was so gross, Jeffrey Epstein says Trump was worse in real life and up close. And someone says to Kathy Rumeyer says, Trump is so gross. Epstein goes on February 10th, 2017, worse in real life. She writes, hard to imagine. He really does remind me of MacGyver, and I'm suffering PTSD. No, I rank him much lower. Then there was this email between Epstein and someone whose name is redacted, perhaps a victim, and it is a YouTube link that has since been privated, and it says, how are you? Send this interview to Donald Trump, please. It's going to be everywhere. Someone who seems to have links there. Then there is Epstein writing to his lawyer, have one of your cronies ask to see the mortgage to Mar-a-Lago. Cash from Electricians Union. His driver, Matt, was the bag man. Later made an exec at the public company. Became an executive at the public company. And the $30 million loan from the casino to Donald Trump. Backdated. Okay, seem to be talking about serious financial issues. Judge for yourself. Then there is this related message about stealing pieces of an Atlantic City casino, beaten up by Trump. Do you want in? So Reed, Weingarten, and Epstein are talking over here. Epstein says, speak, no, but you should talk to so-and-so. He knows something inside out. Then they go and talk about a person, and they say, been beaten up by Trump, promoter. He is straight with me and will with my direction be with you. That was
so Trump done put hands on somebody that he was, hold on. So he was beaten up by Trump and he was going to speak on behalf of Trump with Epstein. Talking about plotting. Ooh, we beaten up.
This game,
I bet you them hands can't.
You're not ready for it.
Can't whoop shit.
Let's go through other messages.
Hold on.
At least in this message right here between
Beaten
Linda
up by
Stone
Trump.
and was sent on July 2nd, 2014.
I don't think he can fight either.
At least in this message right here between Linda Stone and Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein claims that right after the election, November 2016, he says in November 13th, 2016, that he is in the Trump Tower. She goes, where are you? You still in Paris? And Epstein goes, I'm in the Trump Tower. So was he...
Now, when did he get arrested? Because I thought, what? I thought he was... Okay, let's go.
He in the Trump Tower that whole time? And when Donald Trump said, I never spoke to him back in... since 2003, 2004.
That turkey
is that
nigga.
All one big lie? Now, of course, you know the bombshell emails that came out earlier yesterday morning that everyone was talking about. It's why I'm not really focusing on those here. Like this one from Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. This is April 2nd, 2011.
When did
Epstein
he get
to Maxwell.
arrested?
I want you to realize that the dog hasn't barked is Trump. Victim, who's redacted, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. And Ghislaine Maxwell says, I've been thinking about that. Then there's this message between Michael Wolff and Epstein, where Epstein talks about a victim at Mar-a-Lago. Trump said he asked me to resign from Mar-a-Lago. Epstein says, I was never a member. Of course he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Of course Trump knew about the girls. Then there's this message from Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein. I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then it gives you valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. Wow, that's some serious stuff that they're talking about. Then you have this message, August 23rd, 2018. Jeffrey Epstein says, I know how dirty Donald is. Can you imagine these messages that I'm reading? What's in the files if these are the messages that are not in the files? Now, do you all remember the lewd Epstein birthday
Here we
book?
go. He said these are the messages. So he said that these are the messages that's not in the files. Did he say that? Hold on.
August 23rd, 2018, Jeffrey Epstein says, I know how dirty Donald is. Can you imagine these messages that I'm reading? What's in the files if these are the messages that are not in the files? Now, do you all remember the lewd
Again, I tried to, well, y'all wouldn't hear earlier. I told them that somebody else was providing them with this information. He just said these are the messages that are not in the files.
2018, Jeffrey Epstein says, I know how dirty Donald is. Can you imagine these messages that I'm reading? What's in the files if these are the messages that are not in the files? Now, do you all remember
now, Mrs. Tom, what make you assume I have neighbors that will be able to hear me close, hooting and hollering? Mrs. Tom. What are you trying to say? Or what are we doing? Now you got me looking at you with your side eye. Like, what? Yeah, please don't ask me about my neighbors. Don't do that. You. Yeah, no, I don't know how to process that. Well, why would I be close on somebody? Yeah, no, I don't know how to process that. But okay, so yeah, I was trying to say earlier today that these people are all coming together from different angles to go against Trump. Cause right here, earlier he said he done read all 20K of the emails. But I also had a feeling that he had information that he had gotten from other sources. Well, let's listen.
What's in the files if these are the messages that are not in the files? Now, do you all remember the lewd Epstein birthday
Here
book
we go, y'all.
that included a joke about Epstein selling a fully depreciated woman to Donald Trump? Now, these new documents, the 20,000 emails, which I've gone through all of them, show that Epstein was telling someone that he gave Trump his 20-year-old girlfriend in the mid-1990s. That he gave his girlfriend.
How old is Melania? I was just trying to look up when he was arrested in NYC, because these years they stacked on top of each other. Trying to see when he was arrested in New York. And when did Trump go into office his first go round? Because I'm trying to see how is he at Trump Towers. Hell, I thought he was in jail. And how old would Melania be in the 90s? Because here's where he's talking about his girlfriend was in her 20s. I'm trying to see if these ages are close. Yes, she would have been in her 20s. In the 90s. This Melania, y'all. This depreciate. I told y'all that was probably Melania. Fully depreciated. Oh, hell. How so in her 20s, she was fully depreciated. Epstein said he sold Melania, well, his girlfriend, to Trump for $20K. She was in her 20s and she was fully depreciated. Wow, you talk about the miles on that. You talk about the mile. Hi, Robbie. Robbie, that's what we're talking about right now. Don't ask no questions. I thought I had made it so that these guests couldn't come in. You didn't come in speaking. You didn't hit the like button. None of that. Stop that. It's enough to have him on the phone running scared. Yeah, now he want to be. He want to donate scholarships and shit to the orphanage. My windows are still open. Okay. Yeah, so don't come in here trying to downplay nothing. Yeah, he buying a wife for $20K. Epstein selling wives. He knocked him down for a couple of years. He beat that cat up, make it fully depreciated, and then sell it to his bum-ass partners, who obviously got Peter problems because he got to play with kids. Yeah.
Mid-1990s. And he gave his girlfriend secondhand, which is what they were saying, that she was depreciated.
Secondhand.
His 20-year-old girlfriend in the mid-1990s.
Melania.
He gave his girlfriend secondhand, which is what they were saying, that she was depreciated. Sick, right? That he gave her his seconds. I mean, absolutely disgusting.
No, well, which is sicker? He sold her for $20K, or who bought her? Trump bought her? Which is sicker? Him selling her, or Trump buying her? And he a multi-millionaire. I mean, which is worse? They both sick. They think alike. They think alike. They both are sick. I do agree. But he say Trump sicker than him.
See Epstein say, my 20-year-old girlfriend in 1993. That after 2 years, I gave her to Donald. I gave to Donald. Also, interestingly, Epstein said...
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that crap? Oh, I would be sick if I was her. And then you had a nerve to walk out today like you need to be his face today because his ass is in trouble. And only his mega people will be saying, is that all you got? This is enough that he didn't want it out. Dumbass. Dumbass. And if you don't think it's enough, let your kids, everybody that you know and love, go stay at the White House in the summer, sleep in the bed with the diaper man. Since it ain't no big deal. I mean, since y'all want to make excuses for him, let your girls and boys go over there. Yeah, he done had an 11-year-old boy. It's probably Vance.
And you'll see Epstein say, my 20-year-old girlfriend in 1993. That after 2 years, I gave her to Donald. I gave to Donald. Also interesting.
How you gonna give her to Donald? How you gonna give your girlfriend of some years to Donald Trump? Oh my God. how you gon' how you one gon' where they do that at? Then you talk about it and laugh about it. And after 2 years, I gave to Donald.
After 2 years, I gave her to
If
Donald.
it ain't Melania, whoever she is.
Also, interestingly, Epstein said that Bill Clinton was never on the island in these emails. Epstein seems to suggest that he's with or near Donald Trump sometime in Thanksgiving of 2017 during his first term, and after the infamous plea deal. You take a look right here. Again, it's unclear what the hell is going on right here. But Epstein talks about, where are you? He's such a snooze. Who else is down there? David Fizzle, Hansen, Trump. Not necessarily saying he's specifically with Trump, but he's saying that Trump is down there. Take a look at some of these other messages right here. December 7th, 2016. You have Epstein to Jonathan Farkas. Hi, Jeffrey. Hope all is well. I think you're going to have a wonderful life from now on. In your opinion, how much is left in this market? It's been Trump's triumph. I gave him some money through Woody. Best, Jonathan. Yikes, your birthday coming up next month? Well, heaven can wait. Then there's this message right here. Jacqueline Johnson talks about a Jane Doe. Please notice the deposition of Miss Maxwell has been rescheduled. A re-notice taking deposition. Mr. Trump's deposition is scheduled for August 18th, 2009. So it seems that Trump had his deposition notice. This is a message from August 11, 2009. Again, unclear what that's about. I don't think Trump ever actually had the deposition taken. You have Jonathan Farkas to Epstein over here. Summers and I talking to Trump and Melania last night. He looked and seemed very tired and upbeat. So this is, again, April 21st, 2019. Epstein has a direct line of what's going on in the White House. Then it goes to talk about, this is Larry Vysotsky, to Jeffrey Epstein. Appears President Trump's B757 is an islip and we're parked right in front of it. It came here on Tuesday and is due to depart Wednesday this week. I mean, there are so many messages here, and he's constantly following Trump's plane and tracking Trump's plane with his sources on the inside. And I'll just maybe tie this together. You remember Epstein in his conversation with Wolff, with Michael Wolff, when Wolff was thinking about writing the biography of Epstein? Remember, he knew very specific details about their communications, about what was going on in the Trump administration. Now, with all of these emails as context, it kind of ties this all together now, doesn't it? Here, play this clip right here.
I think we have a snippet from one of the conversations that I.
Okay, yeah, I'm finna get ready to head out.
I think this is,
I'm gonna have to change the time to the other one that I have set. Let my phone charge up a little bit.
in a restaurant in 2017.
His people fight each other.
Right.
And then have outsiders. He sort of poisons the well outside. He will tell 10 people Bannon's a scumbag and Priest is not doing a good job and Kelly has a big mouth. What do you think? Jamie Dimon says you're a problem and I shouldn't keep you. And I spoke to Carl Icahn, and Carl thinks I need a new spokesperson. So Kelly, even though I hired Kellyanne's husband, Kellyanne is just too much of a wild one. And then he tells Bannon, I really want to keep you, but Kellyanne hates you.
I have more than dozens. I probably have 100 hours of Epstein talking about the inner workings of the Trump White House and about his long-standing, deep relationship with Donald Trump.
There you have it, folks. I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm finna get ready to head out.
More emails.
I had a live set up with Candace, and I think it is, let me see what type of juice I have. Let's see what time it's set for. That was so polite to give his girlfriend or something. Oh no, they checked. He paid for that. He paid for that. That wasn't for free. That's what that check was on that golf course for that depreciated cat. He said, I done got all I'm gonna get out of that. Salute, fam. Bye, Big L. Y'all have a good one. I'm trying to see what time I have this one set for. I may need to move it back a little bit. Oh, it ain't even fully set up. Ooh. What time is it? Yeah, I'm gonna do 10:30. Let me charge this up, and then I'll do it for about an hour. Let's see. By 12 o'clock, I'll be asleep. Let me make it public. Done. Did I complete the title? Let me turn that on. Okay. I have it set for 10:30. See what Candace done uncovered. And I saw something else with Candace. So let me get up out of here. Get some juice on my phone. And then I have an hour. We'll go in there and take a shower. Okay, y'all. I hope the tea was hot. Thank y'all for the support. I have laughed a bit tonight. I done laughed so much. Miss Tom all outside my window. I'm like, I say, what? What we doing? What we doing? Yeah, we gonna check out Candace, because Candace getting close. She said this week it was gonna connect a bunch of dots. I wanted to have Wolff reached out to Candace. I wonder, designers and what's her name? Megan Kelly. I don't know how she feeling. I saw she was talking some talk today. So we'll be back for 10:34 hour. Come in hitting the like button. Come in hitting the like button. So I won't have to fuss and cuss and stop and you know, do all that. Come in, gone over and hit the like button now. Do I need to put the link in the do I need to put the link in here? Yeah, so go ahead. What I need for y'all to do, because I ain't gonna, I'm gonna be tired. I'm tired. I done ate and I'm taut. Here's the link to the one at 10:30. Go on over there now and hit the like button. I just put the link in the chat right there. It's blue. See there? Go on, hit it. Go on over there. Say hey. Go on, shit, shower, and shave. Do whatever you need to do. Be back at 10:30. I'm only going to give it an hour. Okay? Y'all see the link? Give me a one if y'all see the link. It's already set. It's on public. You can go on over there. Sign in. Hit the like button. So we won't have no problem. They're going to get that tea. We're going to get that tea. We're going to get that tea. We're going to connect them dots. We're going to get as far ahead of the game as possible. Connect the dots. We ain't going to be left in the dark. We ain't falling for no bananas and nobody tailpipe. And we gonna laugh at the slow bunnies that still got their hands in that nasty ass diaper, still playing with these PDF filers. I'm glad to see that Undercover Online, Undercover is busting their asses. Every day, I see about 2 to 3 of them mega PDF filers getting busted. Okay? And so far, they all the same color. Can you believe that? Wow, I thought it was law and order. It's more than breaking laws, playing with kids than the law allow. Isn't that funny? I mean, that's just crazy to me. Yeah, that's why we chose it. I ain't saying we don't, I mean, we don't have that problem, but like this right here, the whole mega. So mega is men you know, against asking for the cat or something. I don't know. They can't play with women they own size and ages. I don't, why y'all playing with these babies? I just don't get it. But that's what it's all about. It's some sickos. Yeah. Okay, y'all. I'll be back. Let me go. Bye.